Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to do a demonstration on how to use XPO with an SQL database in the browser. For this I'm going to use blazor WebAssembly for .NET 6. So here is the GitHub repository. I'm going to share this when I finish the video. I'm going to put this in the description. So let me show you how I end up creating this project. Everything started this morning when I watched this video. In this video, Steve Sanderson show how to use the new capabilities of .NET 6. One of them is called native references. So that was one of the missing pieces to be able to use an SQLite database inside of the web browser. It's not the server, sorry. So I tried to do all the possible research that I needed. It took me like 2 hours to put all of this together. The code is like 3 lines, but to figure out what to do was kind of complicated at the beginning. So now I have like so many new ideas on how to use this. So let me show you what I will do in general here. So let's go to the studio and let me walk you through the parts of the application. So in the video that I show you, this one, basically Steve Sanderson show how to compile the missing reference that you need for SQLite. That is a C-based library. So here in the repo, I include how to do that. I did it on Linux. Actually, here is the terminal that I was using to compile it, and this is the command that you need to use. You don't have to have a Linux computer for this. If you don't have Linux available, you can use WSL, which is the Windows subsystem for Linux. In my case, my main OS is actually Linux. It's an Ubuntu Linux. And this computer that you're seeing is a virtual machine inside of the main machine. So basically you need to download a GitHub repository and then install it. This is basically the C compiler. So you can compile the source code from SQLite. And beside that, I found this repo. This one are the only files, only the files needed to compile SQLite. If you download it from the official page, the source that you will download will contain a lot of other files and references and everything that you might need in general, because C is really portable. So they include even the sub libraries that you might need to compile. So the source code end up being huge, but huge, I mean like 2 megabytes. It's not that big, but here are only like 3 files, so you don't need that much in general. So you can download the one from the official site and just use these files put these files in a folder and it will work. Or I found this because it took me a while to figure out how to compile this C library. So I will suggest you to use this one because it's only the files needed. And then basically you need to execute this command. So this will be the output library in general. So it's SQLite 3. Okay, so we have like one of the missing pieces. We have the DLL that is missing. So I put that here. I compiled it twice. That's why I have like this one, but this is not needed. The only one that we need is this one, and there is no special properties for it. So you don't need to put it like to copy to the bin folder or anything. Just put it that, and you will need this information later. Okay, so after that, you need to go to the project and edit it. As you can see, this is a .NET 6 project. And here the magic comes from this. You can include any WebAssembly native references, compiling any possible language. So now this brings like a lot of other possibilities. If you're using like blazor WebAssembly, XPO, if you're using XAF, like there are many new things that you can use in .NET 6 that just the possibilities are endless. So, okay, this is the missing references we need. So when we compile the application, it will be included in the final assembly. And then let me walk you through the the code that is really small. But before that, I'm going to delete these files that we don't need, just to make the source cleaner. And so you don't get confused also. Okay, so beside that, let's go to the index page here. And this is like file new application. So I have not done anything. So I just changed like hello XPO and Net6. Then I added an input, which is basically a text box, a button to save, and a for each loop to loop through the users that I have in the local database. And that's it. Also in the program, this will look a little bit strange because it's a Net6 project template. So it's minimized. It's not using namespaces. It's not using the braces. Like, so it's too minimalistic for me. I kind of like the whole structure. And I come from a Visual Basic background. I mean, that like 20 years ago, where you use more words to describe the stuff. But in C, you use less. You use like those braces. And in here, you don't even use the braces. So I kind of don't like this in general, to be true. But here, what I did is I installed the NuGet from XPO. That's free. You can download it for free. You don't need the license. And after that, I don't have that article here, but I will try to put it on the README. In the article from Developer Express, they show you how to use the extensions. For example, this one. This one adds a unit of work to the services. So you can inject it in any page or controller that you have or any sub-service that you have. So in here, I'm using the SQLite provider. And you don't have to set a path for the database. And we will talk about this a little bit later. And then you just need to register the types. In this case, I have this type that I created myself. It's basically XPO object with just a property name. So basically that's all the code. And then in the index, I show you this already, the button and the collection, and let me show you the code behind. So here I inject the unit of work using the extensions that I showed you before. And then I have a list of users, a save button, and on initialize, I load everything to the user list. So let's run this. This will take a little bit of time to compile. Well, it was compiled before, so because it embeds the C library into the executable, and that kind of take time, you will see a lot of output in the console, but after that, it will just work, I think. I hope you know the demo effect. So let's see, you know that WebAssembly applications take a little bit longer to show. So let's wait a little bit for this. And hello, XPO and Net6. So let's add some people. First, I will add myself. That's me. Then I will add Javier. Then I will add my brother, actually, Oscar. Well, both of these guys are basically my brothers in general. So that's it. I mean, in this case, we're using XPO. You will see I will put a breakpoint here in the code behind. And on the initialize, I'll put this here. Okay, so I will move and I will return to the page and see Let's try to browse this. Sometimes it's not possible. So let's do a quick watch. Oh, no, there you go. 3 users. And the users are, I think that will be me. Let's find the name. Oh, here, yeah, the evaluation in WebAssembly is somehow strange, but in general, here is the 3 users that we just added. So basically, these are stored in a small database in the browser. And so far, so good. But there are like small problems that so far I've been trying to figure out how to fix. So far, this is really happy for me. Like I've been looking forward to find a way to do this for long. And I did something like this with Uno, as I told you before, but I have to recompile millions and billions of things. So this was way easier. Um, but there is a problem if I copy this URL and I open another browser tab. This is a different process, so the database will be empty in this case. So every time that you start the application, it's a different process. So here you will see that this collection will be 0. Also, if you restart the process, you will not have the database on hand. So in this, we'll add Hector, Walter, and Douglas. All these are like also people that like guys that work with us, with me and Javier. And I mean, I see them every day. That's why I put them in this example. And then all the other guys who work with us will tell me, hey, you didn't add me in the example. But anyway, I remember all of you guys, so don't worry. So here, let's continue. I can add another one. We add Michelle. So each of these are having their own database in their own process. That the thing is that you have it like in memory at this time. So when you restart the application or you create another instance, the database is not there. It's only for this page. And then let's go back to the studio and let's see something in the README. Let's go to the README here. No, let's see that in the browser. Maybe it will be better. Okay, so according to the documentation of the browser, the SQL database should be in a folder, in a temp folder from the browser. So this is the information for Chrome. And this is Stack Overflow runtime problem. Let's try to, yeah, amazing, just in the time that I wanted to show you this. In general, it tells you that the browser saves SQLite databases in a folder, and if you go there and look, you don't see it. So I guess there is something missing on the flow, or maybe the database will just run inside of the built-in process that we have at the moment. So we have 2 options there. Either we modify the C code to do something else and be able to be saved in a different way, maybe to be serialized in a byte array or something like that, and we save that in the key value storage that is in the browser. That's a really kind of crazy thing, but it's possible. Or well, that's all of the solutions that I think are around that path. So all of them are kind of crazy. But anyway, I will continue doing my research and let you know like when I end up this, because this is something amazing in general, because this is a progressive web app. This can replace a mobile application without going through the app store and everything. You can install it or use it as a desktop application. And well, since since I start this like project in the morning, a lot of ideas came to me. I can also use this in the Sync framework, so I can use the Sync framework with the browser. and I can have another crazy thing there. So, well, I will keep you posted about it in general. But there is some people that I can call to give me help on this. So last time, this is just a small ad. Javier is directing the mobile or the cross development group from Arizona to do Xamarin applications. And we had our first guest, which this is an amazing guy that we know, Andres Pineda. He's from Dominican Republic, so he's like a Spanish, like a Spanish speaking, and he used to work in the company that made the platform. So he did a demonstration on the basic principles of Uno, and was an amazing talk. I don't have the link for this, but you can Google that on Javier's channel. And we will continue having like really interesting people for our show. And I will like be posting about it also because it's related to mobile development. It's not SAF this time, but it's something that we also love in general. So he worked on the version of Uno that was able to connect to SQLite on WebAssembly. So he's the guy to go if I need an advice about this. So this maybe will be easier to recompile the C code and do something crazy with it. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you have any doubt or any recommendation, just write me in the comments below, and see you guys on the next video. Bye.